am 47 years old, and I died 3 weeks ago. Not almost died, not had a close call. I died. My heart stopped beating for 2 full minutes on the cold marble floor of a steakhouse that charges $400 a plate. 2 minutes, 120 seconds of nothing, no heartbeat, no breath, nothing. Everyone wants to know about the light. Yeah, I saw a light. It wasn't heaven. I'm sitting in this hospital room right now, and the fluorescent tube above my head keeps buzzing like it's trying to remind me where I am, like I could forget. The sheets smell like bleach and someone else's sickness. There's a cup of coffee on the tray beside me that went cold 2 hours ago, and I haven't touched it because my hands won't stop shaking long enough to hold it steady. But I can hold this. I'm holding my phone. The screen is cracked so bad, it looks like a spider web grew across it. Must have happened when my face hit the floor. And right there, frozen under the shattered glass, I can still read it. 27 missed calls. Every single one of them from the same contact. Home. 27 times my family called me. 27 times that phone lit up, vibrated against the white tablecloth, and I reached over and silenced it. Every single time. Because I was busy. Because the investors were talking. Because I told myself I'd call back later. There was no later. So I need you to put down whatever you're busy with right now. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you think this doesn't apply to you. Put it down and listen to what I'm about to tell you. Listen close, because your phone is still ringing, and you don't know how lucky that makes you. Mine doesn't ring anymore, and I would give everything I have left, everything, to hear it ring one more time. Let me tell you who I was before the floor. I was the guy who made it. Vice President by 38. Corner office on the 42nd floor with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a skyline I thought I owned. Italian suits, hand-stitched. Shoes that cost more than my father made in a month. I had a reserved table at 3 different restaurants in the city, and the hostesses knew my drink before I sat down. Bourbon. Neat. Top shelf. Always top shelf, because I'd earned it. That was the lie I told myself every single night. I'm doing this for them. Every late meeting, every missed dinner, every red-eye flight, every time I chose the deal over the dance recital, I whispered that same prayer to myself like it was scripture. I'm doing this for them. I'm building something. I'm sacrificing now so they can have everything later. You know what sacrifice actually looked like? It looked like my wife, Sarah, leaving voicemails I'd skip while walking into client dinners. She had the softest voice. She never yelled. She never demanded. She'd just say, "Hey, it's me. Just wanted to hear your voice. Call me when you can." And I'd see the notification, and I'd think, I'll call her back in an hour. And the hour would become a day, and the day would become a habit, and the habit would become who I was. My son Eli used to ask one question every Saturday morning. Is Dad coming to the game? My wife told me this later, not because I asked, because she finally stopped protecting me from the truth. He asked every Saturday for 2 years, is Dad coming? And every Saturday she'd find some gentle way to say, probably not. Until one Saturday, he just stopped asking. A 12-year-old boy shouldn't learn how to stop hoping, but mine did. I taught him that, not with cruelty, with absence, which is worse. And my daughter Maya, my little girl, she played piano. She was extraordinary. Her teacher told Sarah she had a gift, a real gift, the kind you hear once in a decade. Every recital, Maya would walk out onto that stage and look at the audience before she played. She was looking for me every single time. And every single time, my chair was empty. I'd text Sarah 15 minutes before. Next time, princess. I sent that text so many times, it became muscle memory. Next time. Next time. Next time. You know what next time really means? It means never. It means I don't have the guts to say never. So I'll dress it up in a promise I know I won't keep. Back then I felt powerful silencing those calls. I felt like a man in control, important, needed. Let me tell you what power looks like now. Power looks like a 47-year-old man in a hospital gown with his backside hanging out, holding a shattered phone, who would sell his corner office, his car, his suits, every single thing he ever earned, just to see the word home light up that screen one more time. That's power, knowing what you lost. Let me tell you about the night I died. It was a Thursday, December 12th. The restaurant was called Aveline. Private dining room in the back. Long table. White tablecloth so stiff it barely moved when you set your glass down. 8 investors. 2 bottles of Bordeaux already open. The room smelled like seared butter and old money, and that particular cologne that men wear when they want you to know they don't need to impress you. Maya's winter recital was at 7 o'clock. I knew. I had it in my calendar. Sarah had reminded me twice that week, once on Monday, gently, once on Wednesday, even more gently, which should have told me everything. When someone reminds you gently twice, it means they've already started preparing for your absence. They're not asking anymore. They're documenting. The dinner started at 6:30. I told myself I'd leave by 7:15. I'd catch the second half. I'd slip in the back row, and she'd see me, and it would be enough. At 6:52, my phone buzzed on the tablecloth. Home. Sarah calling. I picked it up, looked at it, and set it face down. The investor across from me was mid-sentence about quarterly projections. I nodded like those numbers mattered more than anything in the world. 6:55. Buzz. Home. 6:58. Buzz. Home. 7:01. Buzz. Home. 27 times. I know the exact number because the paramedics gave me back my phone and I counted them in the ambulance. 27. Each one a hand reaching out. Each one my wife or my daughter, or maybe even my son, saying, please, just this once, show up. And 27 times I pressed that little button on the side and made them disappear. At 7:22, I felt a pressure in my chest, like someone had parked a car on my sternum. My left arm went numb. The room tilted sideways. And then the marble floor came up to meet my face so fast, I didn't even have time to put my hands out. Then silence. Not quiet. Silence. The kind of silence that has weight. The kind that presses against your eardrums and makes you realize that every moment of your life had sound in it, and you never appreciated a single second of it. And then the light came. Everyone talks about warmth, comfort, peace. Let me tell you what I saw. I saw a glow, a screen glow, that cold blue-white light of a phone screen in a dark room. And in that light I saw everything. Not my life flashing before my eyes, my absence flashing before my eyes. I saw Eli sitting on the edge of his bed in his baseball uniform, cleats still on, dirt on his pants from the game I didn't go to. And he's whispering to Sarah in the hallway, low enough that he thinks she won't hear how much it hurts. He's not coming, is he? And Sarah goes quiet, not for a second, for a long time, long enough that the silence becomes the answer. And then she says, so soft it's almost nothing, go to sleep, baby. That pause destroyed me. That pause was my wife choosing between a lie that would comfort our son and a truth that would prepare him. And she chose the truth because I'd made the lie impossible to believe anymore. Then I saw Maya, the recital. She walks out onto the stage in this black dress Sarah must have picked out because there's a little bow on the collar, the kind of detail a mother frets over. Maya sits at the bench. She looks at the audience, third row, center, the seat Sarah always saved for me, the seat with a program placed on it like a place setting, like maybe this time, maybe he'll walk in late, maybe he'll still come. The seat was empty. And here's what broke me. Here's what cracked me in half in that white silence. Maya didn't cry. She didn't falter. She turned back to the keys and she played. She played Chopin, Nocturne in E-flat major. And it was perfect. Every note perfect. The room was still and the music was so beautiful that people held their breath. And my little girl played perfectly because she had already learned not to need me there. She had practiced the piano alone so many times that my absence was built into her technique. She didn't miss a note because she'd stopped missing me. That is the worst thing I've ever felt. Not that my daughter cried for me, that she didn't, that I had become so irrelevant to her strength that she could perform the most beautiful thing I've ever heard and not need me to witness it. I was already gone long before my heart stopped. The light showed me every next time, every silence call, every Saturday morning Eli stopped asking. And then it showed me the thing that I cannot unsee. It showed me my wife learning to sleep without reaching for me. At first she'd roll over, hands sliding across the sheets toward my side of the bed, finding it cold, pulling her hand back. And over months, over years, she stopped reaching. Her hand learned to stay on her side. Her body learned not to look for me in the dark. That's not a moment. That's an erosion. That's love being weathered away by 1,000 nights of nothing. Then something hit my chest like a freight train. Once, twice, electricity, pain so sharp it had color. And I was gasping on that marble floor, a paramedic's face 2 inches from mine, yelling at me to stay with him. The room smelled like wine and panic. I grabbed the nurse's wrist so hard she winced, and the only words I could get out, the only thing that mattered in the first breath of my second life, was, call my wife. That was 3 weeks ago. I'm home now, if you can call it home. The house looks the same furniture, same photos on the wall, but it feels like a museum exhibit of a family that used to live here. Everything is preserved, but nothing is alive. Sarah is kind to me. She brings me tea. She asks about my prescriptions, but she's careful. She moves around me like I'm furniture she's learned to navigate in the dark. She doesn't reach for me in bed anymore. I know because I stay awake every night waiting for it. Her hand stays on her side. That lesson took years to learn, and I cannot undo it in 3 weeks of being sorry. Eli is polite. He says good morning. He says good night. He asks me to pass the salt. He is 13 years old, and he treats me like a hotel guest who's overstayed his welcome. I asked him last Tuesday if he wanted to throw the ball around in the yard. He looked at me with this expression I will never forget. Not anger, not hurt, patience. The kind of patience you show someone who doesn't understand how things work anymore. He said, "Sure, Dad." And we threw the ball for 10 minutes in silence, and every throw felt like an apology he wasn't ready to accept. Maya left a recital program on my nightstand. She didn't sign it. She didn't write, "Love, Maya," or "Wish you were there." Just the program, folded once, placed neatly, like evidence. The cracked phone sits on the kitchen counter, plugged in, charged. I stare at it for hours. I will it to ring. I beg it to ring. It doesn't. The house smells like lavender dryer sheets and silence. I eat dinner at the head of a table set for one because Sarah and the kids started eating earlier last year, and the habit stuck. I sit there with a plate she made me, and I listen to the clock tick, and I look at that phone. Last night it lit up and my heart jumped so hard, I thought I was dying again. I grabbed it with both hands. Spam call. Someone trying to sell me an extended warranty. I almost cried over a spam call. That's who I am now. A man so desperate for his phone to ring that a stranger's robocall nearly brought him to his knees. That phone used to be a weapon. I used it to close deals, dodge my family, and feel important. Now it sits on my counter like a headstone. Every crack in that glass is a moment I said, "Not now." Every spiderweb fracture is a call I silenced. And the screen still reads 27 missed calls from home. I can't bring myself to clear the notification because it's the last time they tried. You, yeah, you, right now, watching this. I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Not with me, with yourself. Who's in the next room? Your kid, your wife, your husband, your mother? Someone is on the other side of a wall near you right now, and they said something to you 30 minutes ago, and you heard it, but you didn't respond because you were watching this, or scrolling, or working, or doing whatever it is you tell yourself is more important than turning your head and saying, I'm here. Your partner texted you today, maybe an hour ago, something simple, something small. How's your day? Or, can you pick up milk? And you saw it, you read it, and you didn't respond because you'd get to it later. Later. I died on the word later. Go look at your call log right now. Not your missed calls. Look at who stopped calling. Scroll back. Find the name that used to show up every week, every day, and trace it forward to where it just stops. That silence you're looking at, that's not peace. That's not someone being understanding. That's a verdict. That's someone who held out their hand so many times that their arm got tired and they finally let it drop. I'm holding up this cracked phone. Look at it. This is my mirror. This is what 47 years of not now and next time and I'm doing it for them looks like. A shattered screen full of calls that nobody's making anymore. You don't need to die to see the replay. I'm giving it to you for free, right here, right now. Consider this your 2 minutes of death without the cardiac arrest. Consider this your light. The light is in heaven. I promise you that. The light is a highlight reel of your worst choices, played on a loop, in a silence so loud it replaces your heartbeat. Answer the phone. Go home early. Say the thing you've been saving for later. Put your hand on their shoulder. Sit in the chair at the recital. Show up to the game. Say it now. Say it today. Because later is a grave you dig, one missed call at a time. And take it from a dead man. The phone always stops ringing.